They're all getting on. Just helping them get their videos going. So, Lisa, if you've never done this before, there's a thing called speaker view and gallery view that'll make these pictures look different on your screen. In the gallery view, you'll be able to see everybody at one time.
Okay, I can see you and Amy right now. Is there anybody else on?
Yeah, Donna's on and Lorrie's on.
Okay, where's that at? Share screen? No?
It should be on the top right. It should say
Oh, okay, here we go.
speaker view or
Got it. Oh, hey guys.
Hey.
You guys. Oh my gosh.
Isn't this cool?
This is my first time doing it. Awesome.
I can't get it on my computer because my computer, if the memory is full, I've been deleting like hundreds of pictures and it's still can't download it.
It looks clear. You look very clear.
Yeah, you look good.
Hi guys.
Hey, Donna.
Hey, Donna.
Who else
I'm
is-
trying to get my
Oh,
daughter.
there's Donna.
Hold on, I'm trying to get my daughter off the skate ramp. Hold on.
How perfect is that?
Yeah.
Backyard vert ramp.
I know. It's like, come on already. Come on, Bryce. Let's go.
So how's everybody doing during all this? Hanging in there? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm over it.
Yeah.
It's doing real good, but I'm telling you, this week it's really getting hard. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want my life
I
back.
feel sorry for all the people that homeschool because I'm finally getting a taste of homeschool, and oh my God, you have no life of yourself for yourself.
Yeah, it's a full-time job.
I can imagine.
I homeschooled my son for like 6 months and then he wanted to go back to school because I was too hard on him. So what are you guys doing to, Amy, you're skating, right?
Yeah, I am. I find like out of the way places and skate. We've been skating a lot of parking lots and DIY places.
Getting those curbs.
Yeah, I'm all about the curbs lately.
Awesome.
It's the dumbest thing. They don't even seem like they'd be any fun, but they just really are.
That's good, though.
And just finding it, the whole adventure of going and finding it, and I don't know. It just feels on the ground.
Yeah, it's kind of like, I mean, I don't skate, but as a photographer, we went and we would go, I would hang out with a crew and we would go find a place and it was always fun.
Yeah, like the hunt. Like Sunday we went,
That's part of
Julie
it.
and I we follow each other because we don't get in the same car together because we're socially distant. And so we follow each other and just look for spots, and then sometimes we find them, sometimes we don't. We end up at the same old places. But on Sunday we found it in front of her hairdresser. She goes, "Hey, my hairdresser, it's closed, and I think that curb in front of my hairdresser is." So that's where we skated, in front of her hairdresser.
Nice.
Whatever works, huh?
Right.
Donna, you guys are surfing, aren't you? A little bit?
Well, we were, but until they closed the beaches.
Oh, okay, that's right. I saw that post.
So it's just, here, this is, Bryce, stop. She's I don't know why it's just
Bryce.
women. Just women. She doesn't know what it's all about, so.
Hi, Pam.
Hey, Pam.
But yeah, we've been
Your audio. your
surfing,
mic-
well, I haven't. Bryce is.
There. I'm here.
Can you hear me?
Hi.
Yes.
I was just muting, listening to everybody else.
Come on. Let's go inside where we can hear.
I wish I had a mute button for myself in real life.
Oh, that'd be so good.
Right?
Or other people.
For other people. I'm going to mute you just for a little while.
Nice, just to go like, beep, shut them up like that.
The humor, my niece is still teaching, and she said this is the best her first grade class has ever been. She said,
wow.
I said, but you have the luxury of muting them.
Right?
Honestly, the kids that are normally troublemakers, the class is functioning normally because the ones that are normally disruptive can't say a damn thing.
That's right. I mean, it sounds like, and they're not there. They're not present. So she doesn't have to discipline them. Their parents have to.
Sometimes
Yeah.
the disruptive
Right.
ones are the ones that are into the screen anyway. They're probably loving being on screen all the time.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
So-
it's good.
So
I was
Michaela
always
was
an
going
advocate of homeschooling. So
How many can I see at once?
So Michaela was going to come, but I don't see her yet. So Ken, sorry.
I invited a few people, but I don't think they're coming. So sorry.
Okay.
okay, I'm in the process of setting up a Wednesday evening, like 7 o'clock, for Sisters in Action Sports. So it'd be Oregon, Idaho, Washington, but we've got plenty of sisters in Southern California. So message me if you want to be invited to that. It's just going to be a general, we've been shut down. I mean, when half of our mission statement is about opportunities in action sports, we can't do it. So we're looking at possibly having small group things this summer where we, if that's allowed within our Washington guidelines. We just don't know. So now it's kind of, after the initial shock, we're all kind of going, hey, what the heck? So we had to cancel our last 2 snow events. So Summit at Snoqualmie and Timberline were both canceled. We had a skate event in Portland that was canceled. We're looking at summer. None of our bigger events are going to be able to happen. So it's just,
Yeah, it's talking about.
I'm trying to look for ways. I mean, we've got a community that, is chatting with each other, and, it's kind of fun watching other people, people do other things besides what they're used to doing. So today I was a pro action lawnmower. That was my action sport for today. That's it. This has been my action, but it's going good. The yard looks good. It's coming along.
Right.
We've been skating. My friend Julie, she's my age, and we've been skating a parking lot that's right by the CVS pharmacy. So it's still open, and a lot of people are driving through, and we're getting lots of people pulling over, people are so bored that they'll come and watch me and Julie skate a curb. So they're pulling over and watching us. So, but it's pretty funny. We're getting a lot of people just that want to talk to us through the window, and which we never had before. Usually they just kind of roll away, but it's kind of doing a weird thing where people are kind of opening their minds a little to,
I think you've totally lost your mind and they want to observe.
Yeah.
Are you getting hassled at all?
No, not at all. There is one parking structure that we refuse to stop going to, and he keeps kicking us out. But he really doesn't. I say we get kicked out, but really he comes and kind of smiles at us, and we're like, okay, we're gone. But it sounds way more. I'd like to say we're getting kicked out, but we leave politely.
He's probably cracking up on you guys.
We wait for him to drive up and tell us, but we just okay, bye, we're gone. But no, we don't get hassled too much. We pull the old lady card. We don't. They don't. It's like they want to yell at you, but it's like yelling at your mom.
Better than you, huh? Didn't think about that. That's cool. So Lorrie, what did you just send us? A group chat?
No, I was. We were talking about whether or not you would want you want this on Facebook Live or not, or you want to just.
Oh, I don't care. Whatever you guys want to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just kind of see how it goes, but yeah, I'm okay with it.
I am good.
Yeah.
So I think
Honestly, this might be a revival. We could inspire lots more people from the comfort of their couch. I mean, this might be a great entry place for a lot of women to come in.
Is it for us older women? Is that what I'm understanding?
Pardon me?
Is this for us, for more the moms and the adults, or I might not understand
this particular chat?
I'm not an adult.
Yeah.
No, we just kind of
sensing a theme.
Ken and I were talking, and I think that this is just basically we came on to talk about how we do things for fun. It's not about how we look, about how well we perform, but you know, like I'm really into surfing. And the other day, somebody called me a poser. And I was like,
Oh, I
really?
remember that.
And, you know, it was kind of funny, but I was just like, well, I don't ever want to appear more than I am. So I'm like, yeah, I suck, but who cares? So anyway, it was just about encouraging people to do whatever they want to do, no matter what level, as long as they're having fun. That's what it's all about.
So this is what the theme is for now.
Yes.
Right now. Okay.
Yes, but it could go in any direction.
Lorrie, looking at your pictures and being a non-surfer, I grew up in Washington, and I understand people do surf up here, but they are crazy. I mean, totally crazy. It's cold and there's big rocks.
Yeah.
And so I think you are amazing. I'm just looking at that one. I mean, you have a great body, so it just looks great out there doing whatever you're doing. But I've got to say, hats off, lady. You inspire me. I mean, I look at that and think, okay, I can skate, I can snowboard, maybe I can surf. I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm afraid of snowboarding. I'm like, okay, if I get hurt snowboarding, I can't surf. So I'll just stick to surfing and.
Okay, now to me, surfing. Okay, and all of you are surfers, right? Hi, Ken.
I'm a poser.
I all of a sudden saw a non-woman.
If you paddle out and have fun, you're not a poser. I don't care.
No, I don't know. And what is a poser? I mean,
a poser is a person.
I can tell you that.
So I think we're all posers, and that honestly, that kind of mentality, and that was one of the reasons I started my nonprofit and I thought it was maybe going to be 25 to 35-year-old, women and girls, and it ended up being, it's from 2 to 80. And
that's so awesome.
From all, I mean active communities. And I have more women snowboarding over the age of 50 and killing it.
That's so amazing. And it's so important to have
and
that.
the 2-year-olds are coming up not knowing that there was limits. And so like Bryce, I mean, you've got to come up in an age where those limits are kind of opened up. Now it's a matter of, setting your own spots. We still are fighting for some things, but to me, the most important is having an open, supportive community that no matter what age you are, what ability you are, you're welcome. And so we have these little bumper stickers that says, sister, I got your back and you can ride with us. And, kind of, opening those doors. But to me, it is so cool to watch a 50-year-old woman snowboard for the first time.
Well, it's like so important to have something that you really love because it helps with confidence. If anything goes wrong in your life, it just feels like, okay, I'm going to survive this because I have this other thing. And not saying that I'm going to be able to surf for the rest of my life. I'll find something else that I love if I can't, like photography. Actually, I herniated a disc in my back and I couldn't surf for a long time. That's why I got into skateboard photography. I was on the beach. I couldn't surf, so I would be taking pictures. And then Scott Foss invited me to go shoot at the park. And I was just obsessed. I'm like, oh my God, this is so fun. And anyway, so my point is just having that passion, being passionate about something, it can get you through some really tough times. And to give that to girls and give them the confidence so that they're not all about being, I don't know, pretty or, just to give them something of substance to. Am I digging myself in a hole? It's fine to be pretty.
There's a lot of studies that have been done that correlate the lessons learned in action sports because it's you're the only one performing. You don't have a team that carries you along. And you learn to fall on your butt and try again and fall 7 times and get up 8. But that definitely goes into your job place, goes into your relationships, goes into for me. What was really my catalyst in starting a nonprofit during the time I just started the ball rolling around skateboarding and was planning on opening up to snow. And that's when I got diagnosed with cancer and they told me I wasn't going to live. And that getting knocked on your ass and being able to get up, I think is honestly what, helped me survive. It's knowing that, you can, and so that's my personal story, but I look at this time with the virus and our finances and everything. It's no different than when we experience surfing or skating. It's falling on our asses and getting up.
Exactly. And it
And
really
so
teaches
those
you
are
for
skills
sure.
that I want everybody to learn. I don't think that should be, I had 3 boys that they had ample opportunities to learn those things. And I watched so many little girls and older women not know that. And to me, that's really important. So yes, whatever level you're at. Now I'll shut up and you guys go. Mute. Will somebody mute me?
Whenever I skate, people always say, "Aren't you afraid you're gonna fall?" And I go through periods where I haven't fallen for a long time, and I think, "Wow, I need to really fall." Like if I'm not falling, that means I'm not pushing myself. And I'm like,
I
I'm
know
falling
what you
for a
mean.
long time. I need to step it up. So when I'm not falling,
No, it's like every time I go out, I have to do a couple face plants. I have to pay some dues out there. If I don't, then I'm just surfing too easy. I'm just taking it easy.
Yeah.
If I'm not, if I'm not eating, I won't say the SH word. Are we live? Sorry. Okay. Yeah.
Lorrie,
If I don't biff, I'm just not pushing hard enough.
Lorrie, where are you surfing?
I'm surfing in NorCal, and
Yeah, so I don't understand how you get in that water. It's so freaking cold.
Isn't there sharks too? You got sharks.
We've all got sharks. It's like
Seattle has sharks.
Yeah, no, actually, yes, I do surf up the coast, and there's Anya Nueva's up there, and that's a breeding ground for the elephant seals, and the elephant seals are a favorite food of the great white shark. So there is a healthy shark population here, but in all my years of surfing, I haven't seen one. I know they've seen me, but
No.
I've never seen one. But yeah, it's a little riskier up the coast, but it's also less crowded, and I don't care. It's like I just love being able to surf.
Your immune system must be so good being in that cold water. If you have seen Iceman, and read some books about that and stating that if you're in cold water, it boosts your immune system.
Wow, I didn't even know that. I didn't know that.
He brings people in and freezes them, so they backpack. What is it, like hikers and rock climbers, and they.
Yeah. No, I wear booties, gloves, and sometimes I wear a hood, and then I wear I was wearing a 5'4", but it's really hard to get on, so I went down to a 4'3", and then I wear a rash guard, which adds, another layer. So sometimes I'm too hot out there. So
wow.
It's weird. Unless you punch through without a hood, then you get ice cream headache
Water right now.
But it's so fun. It's like once you get moving, you warm up. So, but I can't wait to come down there and surf.
Yeah, call me up. I'll go surf with you, even though I haven't been in the water in probably 7 months.
Yeah.
Are the beaches still open there, Lorrie, or are they closed?
The beaches, you know what? It was okay to surf, but the beaches weren't open and the parks weren't open and you couldn't park anywhere. Yeah. So, but then they said, then they said the beaches were open, but then a lot of people started coming over. So I don't know what's going to happen. It's confusing to a lot of people, and it changes. It seems to change.
Okay, so in Orange County, they're open. So I've been surfing.
You've been surfing?
Yeah, Orange County.
Oh, where have you been surfing?
I've been surfing in Sunset Beach. It's
nice.
From Huntington Beach, Main Beach, but it's not very crowded. So there's signs where you have to keep 6 feet distance and all that, but you're still able to go on the beach and in the water. So that's where I've been.
Awesome. Yeah, I got scolded the other day when I paddled by a guy, but I was like, anyway, he was like, I don't think that's 6 feet, And I put my board out. I'm like, my board is 6 feet, so we're 6 feet away. But anyway, I just think he was being a little territorial or something. Yeah. But yeah. So anyway, so the water temperature down there. I mean, we're in the low 50s up here. So what is it down there right now? Do you have any idea?
It's been pretty cool. So I'm gonna say for us, I don't know exactly, but just guesstimation. I'm gonna say like 61, 62.
Okay,
something like that.
nice. Wow.
Yeah.
And Donna, Encinitas?
Oh,
What's
you
it
know
like?
what? I don't actually know, unfortunately. I don't know because I haven't been in the water. And what's funny is I thought once we were all on quarantine and lockdown, I'm like, oh, good, now I'll finally be able to go surf more.
But you're
That's one
homeschooling.
thing I can actually go do by myself and be away from everyone. And then I didn't realize they were basically not allowing anybody in the ocean. So,
Oh, okay.
so and then when I went to Huntington Beach to take Bryce last week, the waves were just so big. I was actually intimidated. Like it felt big. Like I like small surf, like 2 to 3 foot. Like I feel like it has to be so perfect. You know, the weather's got to be good. It's got to be 2 to 3 feet. The water's got to be where I'm one of those really
Yeah.
surfers.
I used to feel like that until I just got this new board. Now I'm like, I'm paddling out in bigger waves again. So it's really fun. So anyway.
Yeah, I got a new board in January, and I really love it. So I'm super excited. You have
what are the dimensions?
It's a 6'9", so it's
Nice.
shortest board. Well, I did have short boards before that. I had Terry Sinnott shape me some boards a while back, maybe 15 years ago or something. But I tend to like the longer boards because I'm just full surfer. I just like cruising. But so this one was me, you know. I've always liked Mark Richards' shaping of his board.
Oh yeah.
So I did a nice. It's Rock and Fig. So I got it from Rock and Fig's shop in Huntington Beach, and
I've heard of that shop. That's cool.
yeah.
Wait, I met Rock and Fig. That's right.
Probably did. He's
was
really
at the Oceanside Surf Museum Gala, I think it was a couple years ago.
I'm sure he was there.
Oh, I was there.
Yeah.
Were you there? I was there too.
Wait, was it not last summer, but the summer, maybe I can't remember.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was really cool. Sean Thompson was there. Let's see who else. Sean Thompson, Mark Richards was there.
I love his boards. I love the shape of them.
Margo. Yeah.
I always have.
Yeah. I've never ridden one, but I'm sure.
They have it's got a nice, like a wider body, so you're really stable in the water, and they're really thicker, so they float really well. So that's what I particularly like for me. So I've been able to get adjusted to my new board now, and so I'm really having a good time. I gotta let Fig know about that because it's really cool. It's airbrushed. You know, I'm still a girl, guys, so yeah, it's got airbrushed palm trees on it. I mean, it's really
nice.
So,
it's so fun to be artistic.
It's in this really cool like teal color, and so anyway, it's
nice.
But I'm having a blast on it. And you know, you got to get adjusted when you first get a new one. For me, anyway, and it's really comfortable, and I'm having a blast. So if he happens to see this, Figgy, it rocks. Love the board.
Who inspired you to start surfing, and Amy, you to start skating? I mean, what inspired you, and who said you could do it? I mean, were your parents supportive, or my parents were not supportive of anything like that?
Amy, go for it.
Well, I mean, I was like one of the younger of 6 girls, and my dad, we were really, you know what, everyone has this story about how, oh, girls weren't allowed to do this, but I wasn't raised that I wasn't allowed to do anything. My dad was like, my girls can do anything any guy can do. And it was, I mean, we just weren't told that we weren't allowed to do things. But it always felt normal. I mean, I skated with Ken when we were, what, 6th, 7th grade?
Yeah.
Wow.
Something like that. And I never felt like left out of anything, or I mean, I felt included. And
you didn't feel like a division between the guys and the girls and all that?
Really. I mean,
that's really awesome. Yeah,
I mean, maybe it was there and I was just like oblivious to it, but
so your friend, go ahead, sorry.
No, I never really felt it. I did as I got older. That's probably why I stopped, because you start doing more typical girl things, you know, as you look at boys differently. But you know, the skaters weren't really the boys I wanted to be around. But and that's might be why I stopped, but it always kind of stayed with me. But my sisters always had skateboards laying around. We had whatever, skateboards, skates, bikes, you know, every softball, baseball, basketball. I just did whatever everyone else was doing, and I happened to live right near the there was a drainage ditch, and we used to skate it all the time. And I never, even though I wasn't skating, I probably stopped when I was about 16, and I didn't skate again until my early 40s.
Oh, wow.
It was always in my head. It was always in my head. But I always felt like a skater. I would see things and think I could skate that, and I could, you know, I might jump on one once in a while, but I didn't start skating again until my early 40s.
That's awesome, though.
But I've always done something.
Awesome.
I either played basketball or soccer, or I was running. I was
I was raised by, you know, a mom who I was always supposed to be ladylike, and that just wasn't me. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, so it wasn't.
I got that, but I think she might have given up by the time I came.
So.
Yeah, I feel lucky. I mean, I didn't realize that I was lucky until I hear other stories, you know, that I was really lucky that he was that way. Because
yeah. How about you, Lisa? Who inspired you? Were you encouraged?
Yeah, I have an older brother. He was cool. I had a cool older brother. He didn't mind me hanging around. So, and going with him and all of his hot older friends. So I was like, oh.
You're like, sure, I'll go.
Yeah, go to the VW van and go to the beach. Yeah, let's go. Of course I did. They're always over at the house. Like, hello. Yeah. So, yeah, he taught me how to surf. He taught me how to skate. I was talking to Ken about this earlier, and it was all inclusive. He was a good brother. He still is a good brother, but you know, of course, you have your fights and all that crap, but we got along really well growing up and everything, and he really included me in everything. So I owe my older brother a lot. His name's Mark, and you know, I've taken it from there. But I started in sports at 7 playing soccer, and so that was really my main focus. And you know, they didn't have professional women's teams back then, so that's really what I wanted to do with my life. I wanted to be a professional soccer player, but it didn't exist.
Yeah,
so,
things have come so far.
Yeah, I know. I mean, when we had, you know, Mia Hamm and all that happened, I was just like, oh gosh, I wish that would have been me, you know, but like a decade later. So anyways, but I played all through college and all that stuff, and I've just always been super adventurous and very sports oriented. I loved, you know, we had motorcycles, motocross and BMX, and you know, I hung out with my bro, so I have this balance of, yes, I'm a girl, but I've always done a lot of, you know, what they would consider male sports or whatever you want to call it.
That's great. Yeah.
Never had any problems. All my brother's friends took me under their wings, and it only got weird when, like, you get older and you're out in the water, and you know, there's some territorial people out there and stuff like that, you know. And especially when I got back into it when I was older, you know, I was telling Ken about this as well. You go through phases, and like, you know, you graduate from college and then you go and you do the career stuff and all that. And so I was really focused on business, and I didn't do a lot of and all that when I was working on my career and stuff. But when I went through a divorce back in 2004, and it was towards the end of the marriage too, I started surfing again. And so it was something for me as an outlet. And I lived in Doheny at the time, so I literally just walked across the street to that break. And so I started surfing Doheny.
So nice. Yeah.
And I haven't stopped since then. So I've been steady for like the last 17 years.
That's great. That's
but
great. Yeah.
So I don't say that I'm a pro. I just go have fun.
You're not a poser. You're not a poser.
It's fun. It's not fun. That's what it's all about.
For my soul.
Anyway, Donna, you guys have really supported Bryce through all this. And is that how you were brought up? Were you encouraged to adventure out? And oh, your microphone's off.
Where did she go? She walked
Oh,
off.
I'm right here. Sorry. I'm trying to find my charger because I'm running out of battery juice. So anyways, yeah, I think I got I was a tomboy growing up. I grew up with 4 older brothers, and they were 8 years older than me. So I could never really do anything with them because they were brought up, in the, 70s and 60s, total hippies from, Orange County, going to Newport Beach, Huntington Beach. And I was that little sister they didn't want me to hang out with. So unfortunately, I got into it more later in my life when I married Max. He's the one that wanted his play buddy, and he was always inspiring me to get out there surfing, skating, catamaraning. I mean, you name it, everything, riding motorcycles. So it kind of started that way before kids, because we were married for like 8 years before we had kids. And then the kids just followed suit, doing what we do. And then later on, quite honestly, my daughter's inspires me now. Max inspired me, but now my daughter does, because she's always like, come on, Mom, let's go skate. And I'm always like, no, let's go skate. And then finally I'm like, all right, I'm going to skate. And then she's like, yay. And all the kids root me on, and surfing.
You have it in your backyard, right?
Yeah, we have a bowl in our backyard that's pretty old. It started like a little tiny half pipe, and then we kind of encompassed it as a bowl, and then kind of now a hip.
Is that the iguana bowl? Is that yours?
Yeah, that's the iguana bowl.
Okay,
Nice.
yeah.
Has anyone been in the iguana bowl?
I haven't skated it. I'd love to.
Yeah, you guys are definitely, just text me anytime. Maybe we can get this group to come together and we can skate the iguana bowl. That would be great.
That would be rad.
Because we used to do it with Mighty Mama, like with Barb Udanaka. We would get a group of girls on Mother's Day, and not actual day, or like the weekend before, and then get a bunch of older women, and we'd all come out to the iguana bowl and skate a few years back. And there was women that were awesome. They were like, had cancer, breast cancer, or was like 60, 70 years old. And, they're just rolling back and forth, and they just felt so free and felt like they were being a kid again. And that was the whole purpose of it, just to be a kid, because just because you're older doesn't mean you can't fall down and get back up too. I mean, you just have to pad up a little bit better.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I don't know. And then I guess the older I got, and now recently I've been skating and surfing less because I found my love in volleyball. So I've been beach volleyball like 2-3 times a week, and and then running, and then anything else I've been working and just keeping up with the kids and dinner and everything else. So I would like to get back out there, and in the summer I'll go out surf. In the summer I'm kind of more of a weathered surfer. I like to go out when it's a little warmer.
My dog is hacking. I hope you can hear.
I can't.
Poor baby.
Hopefully he doesn't have the coronavirus.
So Pam, how about you? Who encouraged you?
What got me going? Okay, so I'm number 6 of 7, and there's 7 years between me and my next older sibling was a boy. But Bob, my brother, does anybody remember the TV show Thrill Seekers?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
They used to.
We would reenact Thrill Seekers, and I was like, watch my little sister do this or that, and so I learned about popping wheelies on your bike and everything else so we did. I mean, we did do everything except for I was the little victim, in all of it. So I learned early on, but then as I got into school, I did dance and I did cheer and I played volleyball and I played basketball, but school was really serious about, if you were on the team, you signed a contract that you wouldn't skateboard in the 70s. And you wouldn't ski.
Oh my God.
Because it would compromise. I mean, you could get hurt, and then you would, compromise.
Got it. Okay.
Right? Okay. So then I did get really sick, and I couldn't play basketball because our practice was at like 6 a.m. or something, but I got like a mono or something and got really laid out. So I gave up my team spot, And then, middle of the winter, I was feeling better and I wasn't on a team. So I had this no list, and it was like the no list. Oh, hell yeah. I'm skating. I'm learning how to skate. And so that was my, and then I found what I loved. I mean, because the big girls always stepped on me. I mean, I was a good player, but I wasn't the 6-foot girl, so it was probably for the best that I found skiing and I found skateboarding. And so that was like 77, 76, 77, way back when. And so, I skated until, back then I was dreaming of looking like you guys in California, but I was up here in Washington all by myself. But anyway, so I was skating down the sidewalks and trying to do 360s and, things like that. And, then I got pregnant in 78 and went to the park. I went to the doctor in the morning and went to the park where we were skating, and I pushed up and I went, oh, I'm pregnant. Popped the board up and I put it away. Like pregnant people don't skate. And so then it kind of died out, and it was in the garage and it was in the closet, and it wasn't until my oldest was about 12, 13, and he found my skateboard and said, Mom, what is this? And that was about the time I became a single mom. So my boys play basketball and play baseball and soccer and stuff. And so once the ex moved out, the boys my oldest looked at me and goes, Mom, do I have to play basketball? And by then he had started skating, tore my board. I still have the deck. I just don't know where the trucks of the wheels went.
What was it?
It was a bonsai, the metal bonsai board.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Okay. Anyhow, and that's when I said it was 91 and snowboarding was just okay at Stevens Pass. And so I said, do you want to learn how to snowboard? And I didn't snowboard yet, so that's where that came in. So when I became a single mom, that's when the skating started and the snowboarding started and the rock climbing started and the bike started. We, kind of did. And my boys weren't real bug jocks. I mean, they were more independent, single sported, independent, I guess. So that's where we started really playing a lot. And that's where I taught, it's funny because I still suck at dropping in, and I taught Sky to drop in off of a milk cart, a little milk crate in the kitchen when he was teeny. But, we had, that's kind of how I raised my boys, was, was playing on boards, and, that kept us sane.
I was trying to skate for a while, and I tried to drop in and ended up on my face. In my chin. I was like, no, I'll just stick with surfing. But when you were talking about how you put your skateboard away when you were pregnant, I actually got barreled for the first time when I was 3 months pregnant with my daughter.
Oh.
But then after that, I stopped. I'm like, okay, it's hard to lay on the board, when you get bigger. But anyway, it's kind of funny.
Belly doesn't work like that. You know what? The first pregnancy I did, but that was back when people thought that pregnant people didn't do anything. I mean, that you needed to kind of bubble wrap yourself.
Yes.
So by the time 10 years later, when I got pregnant with my second, oh hell, we were at the gym. I was doing stuff with him, and he's climbing big mountains and stuff like that. He's a technical climber, is what he does. And he says, "Oh, Mom, you broke me when I was when I was in your stomach. You kept me going all the time." Now he's just like that, But yeah, I did learn my lesson about what all you can do in pregnancy. And stopped me. All the boys were on road trips when they were 2-3 days old. I mean, I got out of the hospital. I was like, "Oh, we're not sitting home."
Wow,
so
that's pretty awesome.
Strap him in the car seat and take off.
Yeah, I couldn't. It was too hard for me to travel with kids and everything. I wasn't that badass. That's pretty awesome.
Oh no, I was just pissed. That was me. It was like, I'm out of here. But that's it, that was it. And now definitely my boys have been my inspiration, as far as they, I taught them and then they taught me, and pretty soon it got to a point where it was like, okay, we'll hang with Mom until 10 o'clock in the morning, and then we're off to jump off a cliff somewhere or something. And I tried to kill myself with boys a few times, and sometimes I can keep up, you know, especially now that my oldest is getting old. I mean, it's like, oh yeah, his day's finished way before mine is. So, but, you know, Sky especially has been really good. It's like, you know, hey mom, you don't know who you're going to inspire, or you can do it. It's just like
That's so
this,
awesome. Yeah.
you know, so
How old
that's
is
been
Sky?
good. He's 25 and he's back up here now. When things got crazy in LA, I, you know, called him about, I don't know, it was before the lockdown and everything, but there was kind of talk of it. And I just called him. I said, dude, this is getting scary. Come home. You know, so he's at a friend of his has a vert ramp in the backyard. So
Oh, nice.
they're
Okay.
they're at opposite, you know, opposite ends of the ramp.
Yes,
Actually,
I hear you.
you know what? We have a friend with a private bowl and this friend that has a vert ramp. And so we're staying away from parks and trails and all that. I mean, everybody's pretty much staying away. And we've taken lots of long hikes around the neighborhood. You know, it's been fun because he hasn't lived at home for quite a while. So he's like, hey, let's go check out this. And he's shown me all the secret hiding spots of, you know, all the stories from his childhood are coming out now. He's telling me everything. So it's been fun.
That's cool.
So-
Is there a lot of looting going on in LA?
I don't know what's going on in LA. I mean,
I'm pretty close to LA, and I'm in LA, and I have seen.
Yeah. I just, you know, I just thought, no, it's time to, you know, he was talking to me over the last month or so before that about, you know, coming back up here because it was getting warmer. You know, he hates the winter up here. But so that was good. I was glad he was out of there. But Seattle, I posted on my Facebook page. We drove through Seattle last night at 5 o'clock on a, you know, and normally it's bustling and there was nobody. It's so weird. I mean, there's nobody on the street. Not even, I mean, the homeless people are gone. We can't figure out where they are.
Wow.
And it's, you know, kind of a scary thing when you see a big city with no people. But we've had to take it very serious. I'm about 5 miles from where the virus broke out, the nursing home where everybody died. It's about 5 miles from my house. So
Where are you again, Pam?
I'm in Bothell. It's about 23 miles north of Seattle.
Oh, wow.
So we're
okay.
suburb, you know, one town runs into the next. But so I'm actually, you know, quite a bit out of Seattle, but this is, we're in the nucleus of it all. Which Sky said, yeah, it felt a little weird to be flying to the epicenter at that point. You know, the rest of the nation wasn't shut down, wasn't anything. But it's been scary. I mean, you know, it's been, you know, where you know people that have it.
Right.
Yeah, I've known a few people who've had it too. And but what was I going to say? I forgot.
I work in a grocery store, and I work at Ralph's, and I work in the back, so I take all the deliveries. But we're running out of things, not because there's a shortage of anything, but just because people are just coming in and hoarding it. It's really a weird thing. Like,
it's so weird.
Yeah, there's plenty. We get it. As much as they buy, we get it in. But however much we bring in, I mean, they're just buying it and packing up their garages, I guess.
What are they hoarding?
Toilet paper, sanitizing wipes, soup, rice, beans, you know.
I thought there was a limit. I thought there was a limit on all that.
There is, but there you get the same people coming in every morning, then they'll come back in the afternoon, then they'll come back, and you see the same
Oh my
faces,
gosh.
like over and over and over. And
Wow.
I think they legitimately are afraid, and that's why, you know, I don't think they're trying to get over on anyone, but I don't think it's like traffic. You know how everyone wants to pass and get in the front and it causes traffic? That's exactly what everyone's trying to get ahead of it, so it's causing a shortage. And if everyone would just kind of, you know,
yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
You know, Amy, I looked at, I downloaded Offer It Up the other day, and just because for some reason I was checking to see what a skate rail would cost for some rails. And there were people selling like Clorox wipes on Offer It Up.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah,
think
That's
a
what
lot
they
of
do. They're
people are
buying,
trying-
people are buying it and selling it.
Buying it to
Yeah.
sell it. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I mean, that's sort of the American way. I hate to say it. Gluttony and
unfortunately.
greed. Dude, so,
Okay, but why toilet paper? Honestly,
I don't know. I don't know. I guess somebody on Instagram must have told everyone that there's going to be, that's the only
a
thing.
shortage of toilet paper. I mean,
There is
which-
no shortage. There's
Exactly.
not a
What's
shortage. Like it's, we're bringing in
I
more.
understand masks and sanitizing wipes
Yeah.
and that stuff, but
Maybe
I mean, I'm kind
shampoo.
of like,
Yeah, it's
Really?
weird. It's a weird thing. And right now, everybody's home and they're baking. So we keep running out of flour and sugar and chocolate chips. We're
Oh
like,
yeah, I'm
baking
baking.
We're gluten free, so we've got plenty, no
Yeah.
problem.
I'm tired of cooking. I'm tired of cooking. I haven't
I don't cook. My
anything
husband does
like 7 weeks. Sucks.
I like cook big batches of soup and a lot of food, and then we have food for several days. And
Oh yeah,
yeah.
that's the way.
my daughter's here and she cooks, and so it's really nice to trade off.
That's
you guys- Oh, go
we
ahead.
did that, just way too much cooking. Well, this guy came home and he was skinny. And so my mommy job was like, oh my God, I can cook dinner, you know? And he puts on 20 and I put on 10, you know, it's just like, I forgot, we got to cut down. And he goes, I'm over it, Mom, it's okay.
There's like always something fresh baked on the table. Somebody baked something.
That's good.
Not me. I'm not baking anything. Everybody but me is baking.
I really do look forward to when we can just walk into a restaurant again and sit down and eat, and you know,
Oh my gosh.
I want to go have tacos. I want to taco.
never gonna take it for granted again.
My first restaurant I go to is going to be Mexican, and I'm going to order a margarita and
Yes.
chow down on chips and
Oh.
salsa.
Yes.
I mean,
Guacamole.
a lot of the restaurants that are doing takeout, but I don't know what a good idea. I mean, you got to keep the economy going, but
Yeah.
you know, every time there's a takeout restaurant, there's a crowd of people there, and like, isn't that
Right.
what we're supposed to be trying to avoid?
And you don't know if the person cooking or anything, you may be
Right.
asymptomatic, you know? I just get nervous about that. But
Yeah.
Well, it's also
Okay.
expensive. I mean,
Being a Ralph's, working at Ralph's, okay, I've got to say, I went to Ralph's the other day and they had like so much stuff still. I was like shocked.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, great. It doesn't seem like there's anything wrong here. But then, you know, I end up getting like, 5 bags of groceries. And, the hardest part was sanitizing all the groceries when I got back.
Yeah.
Like, hard enough putting away the groceries, but then I'm
Mhm.
sanitizing. I'm like,
Yeah.
this is old. This gets
You know,
old.
yeah.
same thing.
It's kind of weird because as a dental hygienist, I mean, we know, there's Hep B, there's Hep C, and those things can live on surfaces for some time. But nobody was like this before. It's like, okay, what if somebody, came in, they had Hep B or something, and it got on the milk carton? We weren't sanitizing before, and we didn't, communicable diseases. It wasn't, we didn't pick them up from groceries at such a level where we were like, okay, we need sterile. So I don't know. It just might be a little bit overkill, but
I think so.
who am I to
too.
say? I do not.
I don't know.
Maybe washing the tops of your cans and the tops of your.
Yes, I've always done that. I
Yeah.
wash the tops of my cans and things
And
like
then,
that.
just just the surface. And then every time you cook, you should be washing your hands before and after. And,
What about the
That's
frozen
what's killing
items?
me is seeing signs about new policies in places that we're wiping down this, especially when it first started before it got crazy.
I think
It
a
was
lot
like,
of it is
you weren't washing that before? What?
I know, huh?
Seriously, we have a call every half hour that you have to stop what you're doing and wash your hands.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
We stop
That's
and wash our hands and sanitize that your work area.
Wow, that's awesome.
Because I have a desk. Nobody's on my desk.
Donna, I have an idea. What if when you go in, you know how they have those wipes that you wipe the grocery cart with? Grab a couple of those and then just wipe as you go.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Maybe
No.
I could do that.
As you bag
That
it.
is what I've been doing.
Then
I've been using the sanitizer wipe to
Purell wipes.
pick up everything.
Yeah.
And then just use all their sanitizer wipes.
There you go.
The eerie thing is there's this big collection of sanitizing wipes all over the parking lot. Like when I come in the morning before the sweepers come,
Oh.
like everywhere. It looks like there's been a parade. It's
Oh my
just
goodness.
People
sanitizing.
can't even clean up after them. I mean, I at least put them on the bottom of my floorboard and then just throw them away when I
Right?
get
No, they
home.
throw them in the basket and then they kind of blow out, or they stay in the basket and somebody takes them and tosses them, or they just toss them on the ground. They just,
Right, which
People.
which is it just defeats the whole sanitation.
right? Exactly.
Exactly.
I don't want this germ, but here, you can have it. Yeah.
So I have a question for you guys. What
I'll
do
be
you
right back.
think about the whole skate parks being filled in by
Oh my God, that's
sand?
I'm shocked.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
I think it's horrible.
It's so sad.
They're sort of a mecca for homeless people, and if they're closed and there's no skaters there, there's going to be people hanging out there. And I don't think it's so much that they're trying to keep people from skating as they're trying to keep people from congregating.
Why couldn't they just build, I mean, put fences or something? Why did they have to fill them with sand? Pardon me?
Since yesterday.
Because people won't listen. Honestly, we ran into the same thing. They tried to, keep parks, like, hey, stay away and stuff. And
Yeah.
people don't listen.
I mean, they build it in, they'll dig it out. It's not,
I
I mean,
hope
if
they
people,
can dig
if
it
people
out.
follow rules, they could do that. But
Well,
when I first
now
thought, I
that
was like, I
they're
can't
doing-
believe they did it. But then I thought, well, I can kind of see why, because they're not going to keep people out. There's no other way to keep them
Well,
out.
no, because now they're just building launch ramps to like do motorcycle.
Oh,
ramps.
yeah.
Bicycles are in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a friend that last week sent me a text, and it was a picture of the San Clemente skate park, and I was like, "Is that dirt in there?" And he's like, "Yeah, can you believe this?"
It's
So
sand.
I called the Parks and Recreation, and I said, "Did you guys put dirt in the skate park?" And she said, "Yes, we did. We don't want people getting in there, and it's going to be going citywide. All the cities are doing it."
It's not how just in skate parks. They're taking, like, if you go by parks out here at least, they're taking the rims off the basketball courts. They're taking they're locking the swings so they don't swing. They don't want people on playgrounds and in any area that they could leave something on the surface. So anywhere where people would congregate, they want it closed. So
I can't believe they did it at Venice Beach. When I saw that,
well, that's like people hang.
Okay, I started, got a little teary-eyed just at the concept.
It's sad. I hate to see it, but I can kind of understand it.
It was sad.
Honestly, if it wasn't filled, I'd be there skating it, and so so I could totally understand.
Did they put it? Is there dirt in Bellflower right by you?
Yeah, they put like mulch.
Mulch? Okay, I was curious about that.
Yeah, they put, and then El Dorado Park also has mulch in it.
Okay.
A bunch of them have. The only one I know of that's open right now is Westminster, but it's going to get closed down soon because all these kids are so dumb. They post it all over Instagram, so now everyone knows that that's the part that's open. So there's going to be 5 million people there, and then it's going to. So
people are just
That's
going
funny.
to private facilities now and private backyards and private parks.
that's what I've been doing. I've been either just doing street stuff or
Private.
People have
Like
offered
the
me
80s.
backyards and said, hey, if you want to come by, just come in the back gate. And
That's funny. There's difference between skaters and surfers. The skaters are like, yeah, come to this park, it's open. And the surfers are
skaters,
not saying anything about the.
we're notorious misfits, and I think because you're different, I'm different, that makes us the same. Does that make sense? Like, because we're all different, we're all the same.
Yeah.
So, and I think that surfers don't really have that. Like surfers are.
Surfers, well,
I know
they're used to
surfers, but they all look the same. They look the same. They're like, I mean, there's kind of a thing about that where we're misfits. Surfers aren't really the misfits. They're like, cool, we're surfers, but
yeah, I get what you mean. Surfers are territorial. I think it's because of the nature of the sport, though. You're out there. There's only a certain amount of waves. I mean, skaters, they can take turns.
Yeah.
And
Unless they
surfers, it's like, okay, we have to basically compete for waves all the time. And I don't care if I'm out there with 5 friends that I love. It still gets a little bit tense sometimes because, okay, it's my turn.
Right. Yeah.
But
I know my friend Julie is a surfer, and she was telling me how sometimes it's skating is kind of nice because you can take as many runs as you want.
Yes.
And, it's not like but and there's no sharks.
Well, and any day of the week, there's waves for skateboarders. It's constant.
Yeah.
You know, you don't know if
Be
it's going to
anywhere.
go flat, and then
You
you
don't know.
usually when you're in the water, you
Yes.
can't be in the
We
water all
complain
day.
about crowds, but I'm kind of missing the crowds right now. Like I didn't realize how much more social it was for me than just skating. Because even though I'm skating like a couple times a week still, I miss the social, seeing everyone and
Yeah.
Absolutely. Big time.
Yeah. I'm surfing like every day. So
yeah.
I'm going to look back and think this was the best time of my life.
I know. I'm actually doing really well. I mean, I didn't gain any weight. I actually lost weight. I'm in really great
Yeah.
shape. I'm sorry.
We're on the
Out
street
there.
skating thing. We're trying to learn how to be
got
street
different ways
skaters.
of dealing with stuff, and I'm
I
like,
just don't want people to shame me. I don't like the shaming that goes around, you know, like if I go outside or if I choose to do whatever I do, I don't like it when people are like, oh my God, or why isn't she wearing a mask, or why
I
isn't
put
think
it on.
everyone's
I have it around my neck, and I put it on if people are near me, but I don't skate in it. I can't breathe.
I know.
And Julie and I wear it. We wear it, and as soon as we're near anyone other, we don't stand near each other. And then if anybody is around, we put them on just for courtesy.
they're really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Scary.
I wear them all the time in my dad's a dental hygienist. So.
Yeah, I get you're used to it.
Lorrie.
I wear glasses at work because I have to read a lot of invoices, and they fog your glasses up. You know, the only solution is to double-sided tape it to your face. That's the only solution. I've tried every other single one, and the only one that works is taping it to your face.
Yeah, I'm going through the grocery store and I can't freaking see anything.
Yeah, I tape it to your face. I'm telling you.
I'm like, this sucks.
It sucks.
That's true. I can't. And they fog my glasses up, and then you're trying to adjust it, and then you're touching it with your hand, and you're like, oh shoot, I can't touch it. And then you're like, oh my gosh, this sucks.
But I wash my hands every half hour, so it's okay.
That's true.
Yeah,
Well, I'm looking forward that maybe we can, once this is all, I have a feeling we're not going to be, hopefully, have to be staying home for too much longer. So hopefully maybe we can all get together and skate the Iguana Bowl.
Oh, that'd be
Awesome.
cool. That'd be
I'd
cool.
love to.
Yeah.
And hopefully airfares stay really cheap.
Yeah.
Hey, we'll get you in JetBlue. We can get you a buddy pass, Pam.
Oh, I did not know that was a thing.
That's
My
awesome.
Alaska friend quit working for Alaska, and oh my God, I met a pilot out mountain biking. I was so excited. I just wanted to be his buddy, I didn't really want to date him, but I would have. But it was funny. I was doing my best flirting because I don't do that very well, and then I realized I had mud all over my face. It's like, God, it should have been really sexy,
I probably found it endearing.
I was totally working it for the buddy pass. So I was like,
Yeah, no, we can totally, the only problem with the buddy pass, you got to pay the tax still, because there's a tax, and then you're on standby. You have to like have a plan A, B, and C. But I think
I've got JetBlue, does it just flies out of SeaTac, right? They don't.
Yeah, I think it's right out of Seattle.
Yeah. Well, I live at the other end of town. And so we just opened Painfield Everett here in Alaska. I don't know who else flies in but Alaska, but it is so nice. It's like 10 minutes from my house. There's only 2 gates, so there's never people. I mean, you just,
nice.
Get out, go in, and I mean, my friends will drive me to the airport. It's great.
Mm-hmm.
But I would totally go to Seattle if there was a flight involved.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do miss, I mean, this is kind of sad with, Vans Bowl and Hall of Fame and
That's, yeah.
Those things for me they're life sustaining as far as getting to see all my friends, and I'm really missing
here.
So I'm glad. Thank you. I don't know if Ken is still on here for setting that up the other night. Yeah. Although Sky asked me, he said, "Oh, I got invited to another online party. Did you?" And I said, "No." But then Lorrie invited me this. I thought, "Oh, we got a better party."
You're always invited, Pam. You're always invited.
Oh hell, I'll crash that party. Yeah. But it was kind of
impressed,
funny. It
I
was
was
like,
gonna go to the skateboarder cocktail hour, but there's like hundreds of people on there. Like I don't.
Yeah, that
my
was
agency would not let me pay attention to that. That would
that was a lot.
Jim Gray wishes there was hundreds. Just there's only about 30.
Oh, right.
Uh,
That's like 3 million to me. Like
Yeah, yeah.
this is about all I can handle.
There's a skateboarding cocktail hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you guys find out about that?
Well, it was Jim Gray and I put on the party.
They made it up.
Oh, you did? Is it on House
Everybody was
Party?
at their
we
houses having
didn't have
cocktails
cocktails.
and doing this.
oh, cool.
Sky made a vegetable tray for our hour on that party. We actually had party snacks.
That's great.
It was good. That was a fun get together there.
Nice.
Well, next time you do it, let me know. I'm a little late to the party. I didn't.
Yeah, this
I
is
don't
my
know
first time.
where to get it.
Yeah.
This is your first time, Lisa?
Yeah, I've never even done
cool.
Zoom. This is my first time.
Oh yeah. Oh, awesome. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So-
It's pretty amazing.
So much fun.
My third time, I think. But anyway.
I Zoom about 5 times a day, you guys.
You really?
He's
Yeah.
a Zoomaholic.
Well,
It
it's
is-
because my kids, they have all this homeschool with their teachers.
That's
and then-
right.
And then with real estate, I'm learning all these new contracts and documents for this coronavirus addendum and
Yes.
trying to get people to sign before they go into a house. And there's just so much legal BS.
Uh-huh. That's really interesting. I'm doing the real estate too. And there's just, it's changing world. And who knows how long it's gonna last, but house has to be
Out
vacant.
a lot of realtors, I'll tell you that.
I was set to take my test and they canceled it because of the.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So it's canceled till who knows when. I'm like,
Oh, that sucks.
Interesting world. But I think there's so many variables right now. Things are really unstable. There were signs of a recession before. I think once we come out of this and we find a new, I don't know, whatever stable is going to be then,
Right.
probably be looking at a recession, but I don't think it's, unemployment rate, but is it like 20% right now?
it's high.
Probably go down. I'll probably go down to,
I'm
maybe.
officially, as of the end of last month, all my clients I'm off. And that sucks. That's what I love, the whole independence of being self-employed until it comes to like, what? I can't work my ass off? So I'm hoping this doesn't last very long.
Mm-hmm. Me too. Me too. We all do. Yeah. Anyway, but
Cool.
well, I should go have dinner. What are you guys up to tonight? Dinner? Yeah, we're all going out and partying, right?
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
making salmon.
Nice.
Salmon and rice for the fam.
I don't know yet. I have to go downstairs and see what I got.
Come on over. I'll make some dinner for all you guys.
We've got a ton of Greek food.
Oh my gosh, yes.
We cooked Greek last night, so
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Hey Ken, what's your ramp looking like in your backyard?
Oh, it's all, the bottom's all rotted, so I got to get some ply with skate lights, so the top's fine, but the bottom is, I need like.
Oh, we're live, huh? You have to say that because we're live on Facebook.
Oh, are we live?
We're breaking in or riding it.
Shoot. I
Sorry.
forgot that we're live on Facebook.
I turned that off, but.
Oh, good. Did you? Okay.
Oh, good. Thank you, Ken. Hey, Ken, do you like skater light or the gator skin better?
I only have the skate light, so it's worked pretty good for me. How about you?
Because we just switched to gator skin, and it's a little more grippier, but it gets smoother after time. And they just seem like they're more of a skateboarding company, even though they're newer. They're like only 4 years old.
Yeah.
But we've had a really good experience with gator skin. Chris Conway helped us with that.
Okay.
So if you need some wood or need something, call Chris and he might be able to hook you up.
Okay.
I was going to say on the gator skin, really good friend of mine is the guy that came up with the whole idea. With the company is up here in Tacoma that manufactures it. So let me just tell you what, if anybody's interested in gator skin, one, the price is less,
Yeah.
but it's a really nice product. And Sky got to skate one of the first ramps that was built with it, and he loved it. And so, and that's, you know, I kept bringing samples with me down to and a few people were all about it. And so I was really happy when it went in at the Y. And then when Tony Hawk put it on his ramp, it's kind of like everybody went, oh. So yeah, definitely contact me. I'll put you in touch with Russ, and he can maybe, you know, make some better deals if anybody's looking for it.
And then call Chris too. Call a bunch of people, see who can get you the best deal.
Right.
Right.
And then call
But
me.
it's definitely a superior, I mean, it's a great product.
Mhm.
Can you give me some address so I can come over and write it?
Yeah, well,
So,
I love
there's dinner at Donna's house that I understand Donna's making salmon for everybody.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're gonna hold you to that, Donna.
You have curbside service?
Well, let me tell you, the salmon, you don't need to do much with salmon. All you
Yeah,
do is add
it's-
a little salt and lemon and a little bit of white wine and you're done.
Yeah,
I
it's
love
like
salmon.
10 minutes. The salad that
White
goes
wine
with the
in a
salad.
glass.
takes care.
I heard Lisa, you know, you're tired of cooking. I'm kind of the same, but did you get better at cooking because you're forced to do it for 30 effing days?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm actually a good cook, so I thank you to my grandmother for that. So I grew up with my grandmother teaching me how to cook. So I'm a good cook, but it's just like, oh my gosh, every single meal.
You want to take a break now and then.
Yeah,
Right.
I want to go out in a restaurant, especially I've got this craving for Avila's El Ranchito on Main Street in Huntington Beach, where you just sit and you look at the people
Where you
watch.
going?
I want to go. I want tacos, chip salsa. I want a margarita.
Me too.
Yeah,
It'll happen. It'll happen.
want it bad.
I don't know when, but it will happen for sure.
I know.
Yeah. We'll have to
So
all.
I was an
Get-
idiot because I stopped drinking during this quarantine.
Oh, no, that doesn't count. That doesn't count.
Timing.
Quarantine rules. You gotta. It doesn't count.
That's not dumb. That's okay.
I don't know why. I'm like, well, shoot, if I can't be social, why
It's a
should I
national
drink? I got to do
emergency.
something for myself.
I don't drink that much, so I'm like a weekend drinker. So I
I
don't
don't.
drink
I
during
was-
the week usually.
Well, I
Yeah.
got a bottle of Silverado
me
Oaks
that.
waiting for me to open up as soon, or Silver Oak. As soon
Nice.
as I decide I want to open it.
Maybe when they tell us we can go out and see people again, you can celebrate that way.
That's what I was thinking.
That's cool.
Sounds fun.
Hey, does anybody know, like Governor Governor, I keep calling him Governor. He hasn't told us when he's got a date for us to open up or anything, has he?
Well, I think it depends on World Health Organization.
Right. Right.
Okay, because
We're
a lot.
talking about May 4th, but I don't know.
Yeah, I was planning
time?
on it being in June.
When, Lori?
Well, somebody said May 4th. The dental offices are talking about opening May 4th.
Okay.
So, but I don't know if it's going to happen. Excuse me, not May 4th. Wait. Yeah, no, May 4th. May 4th.
It is,
Yeah.
Sorry,
yeah.
I'm like, what day, what month? What? Oh my God.
Where are we?
At first it was April 6th, then they said April 13th, then they said April whatever. They keep bumping it a week every.
Yeah, they're talking 2 more weeks up here at least. I don't know. And then
I think they're
re-entry.
really
who knows
watching
how that's-
statistics.
I can do that, but if we start going in June, I'm gonna flip out.
No, we got this. I think it'll be May 4th.
You know,
at
it's
least or
almost
May
something
15th.
kind of relaxing about not having to go anywhere. Like not
It
being-
is. I have to say, it's a nice reset, and
I'm
it's
gonna be somewhere.
It really, you know what? You're right. Yeah, it is a nice reset. That's a good way to
And
put it.
I'm kind of looking forward to like I feel like there's like a whole like a artistic rebirth. Like all these people are at home, just like people are being crazy creative, and like
right.
Mhm.
you know, I think that a lot of crazy stuff's going to come out of this. You know?
Think of all the really great conversations that people are having now that they wouldn't have had before, you know?
Right.
Really bonding and getting to know one another and stuff.
Mhm.
I've had some amazing conversations with my mom that I would have never had we not been, you know,
Well,
quarantined.
a lot of people are just stopping, and you know they needed that time to just stop. You know, where even me, I'm still working, but now I come home and I just come home. You know, where before I was going go, and now so it kind of makes you stop and think about okay what you're
Right.
doing, what you're you know,
Mhm.
and especially people who aren't working, it makes you reevaluate everything that maybe you wouldn't have time to do that before. So,
For sure. I totally agree.
Ask a question. Maybe this could be the last question. It's up to you guys, but is there anything that you have stopped doing that you're not going to restart doing after you go back?
I'm not going to call anybody a poser ever again. Never.
I think I want to say going to the grocery store personally. I don't like having to go out to my house. So
yes, okay, yes. One of the things that I will not do ever again is I will not get gasoline and touch the pump handle ever again without wiping it with a sanitation wipe. I've seen too many memes that have completely grossed me out. I'll never, ever get gas again without having a wipe and wiping the crap out of that sucker before my hands touch it.
You know what I do? Okay, so you go to the bank and you take out money from the ATM.
Yeah.
Take a wipe and I wipe the front of that thing. Every time I do it, it's like black. It's like,
that's pretty gross.
That's smart. What about when you go to the grocery store and you put your PIN number in? I never thought my finger is touching everybody else's PIN. You should wipe that down first.
How many times?
That's why you grab that other, Sani wipe or whatever it is at the door and use that.
Wait, how many times have you seen kids put their mouth on the handle of the grocery cart?
Oh,
yeah. All the time. Oh my God.
I think what I would do, not that I'd do differently, but I'd add to my life, is to stay still, and we're playing more games with the family.
Yeah.
And that we never do. We never play games. Life's just not, it's too busy. We don't have time. But like we've been playing games and just really coming together as a family a little bit better.
That's like I say, it's like my granddaughter's loving it because they're home all the time. She just loves being home.
Yeah. Get home with your kids. The quality of life is kind of bad. I mean, I know people aren't making money, they're not working. It's kind of scary, but the quality of life is better, it seems. Yeah. And if I never had to work full time, but I don't think I would go back and work full time after experiencing, that kind of quality of life.
And I think people are learning how they can get by without all these things.
That's
right. A little shortage of things makes you realize, there's a big difference between what you want and what you actually want. And
agree. It's true. I'm going to try to give up the coffee shop, but I don't know.
I tried. That was a failure.
What about you, Pam? What would you do?
What would I do?
Yeah.
What will I do or won't do?
Yeah.
It's not that I have this much influence in the world, but there was a few times I was getting to where I was so busy between regular work and nonprofit work and planning events and executing events and leading, that I secretly wanted to, like, what would it be like if I just stopped? And I thought, damn, we did.
Yes.
And it's given me a chance to really, it's kind of like cleaning a closet all the way out before you decide what goes back in.
That's a good analogy.
Really stop and go, okay, how is this really, but also looking at my purpose. And I realized coming back that the outdoors and, surfing and hiking and biking and stuff is going to be part of our healing. As far as people are going to need to be getting out and doing these things. So looking for ways to, kind of, do the same things, but with a different spirit.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Yes, exactly.
A little bit more appreciation. I guess I've come back from lockdown a few times in my life where, being sick and stuff, where you definitely are going to appreciate whatever I'm doing, and I, from the cancer, to me, it was like every time I got off the lift, or every time I did something, it was like, it still brings that same amount of, I'm here, I'm doing what I'm doing. But I think I'm going to feel that more, just more appreciation.
What kind of cancer did you have, Pam?
I had melanoma, and it was in my lymph system. Wow. So it was a 3-4. I was supposed to die within 8 months.
Oh
I'm
my
so
God.
sorry.
My 5-year survival rate was like 3%, even with surgery and chemo. Yeah. Okay. So I found an oncologist that was a snowboarder, and he said, "Oh, those are numbers. I treat a lot of untreatable people for a long time." And so I said, "Hey, you're on." So I'm
Wow.
here. I'm here. But
Where did you find it, or did the doctor find it?
no, the doctor found it on an annual. He was just like doing the little lymph node feely thing, but he was like way high under my armpit. And he's like, "Does this hurt?" And I'm like, "You're in my ear," kind of a thing. And he was like instantly like, "You got to go see this doctor. It's, blah, blah, blah." And I'm like, "Don't I get a second opinion, or we don't even," he goes, "No, this is serious. You got to go now." And
Who was checking your lymph node though? Was it a dermatologist?
Just my general doctor was really good.
Oh wow, you're lucky.
Yeah, no, I am very lucky, and it made me kind of walk around and I was in the stores and stuff thinking, I wonder how many other people are dying and don't know it.
Oh.
I mean, honestly, if they wouldn't have caught it, I probably wouldn't be here. And we, no, there is no probably. I wouldn't be.
Where was your melanoma then?
It was in my lymph nodes under my left arm.
But so you can have melanoma in your lymph node,
You can
not
have
on your skin?
melanoma in your eyes. You can have it in your brain. You can have it in your lungs.
I had no idea.
It acts like a skin cancer because it will manifest itself on the surface, but it's a metastasizing cancer, so it can be anywhere.
Oh. Wow.
So
no idea. No idea.
Yeah, it's tricky. It changes the way it acts, so your body doesn't recognize it. It mutates.
Wow.
Yeah, and there's no blood test or anything else. So I just got to be very aware. So I'm still at the doctor's every 6 months.
Oh my gosh.
Annually,
I had a melanoma diagnosis, but then I went and saw this world-renowned doctor for a second opinion, and he said it was not melanoma, but they went ahead and took a chunk out of my leg. And I also go back every 6 months. So
right. Well,
it's
as far
scary.
as like those of us that are outdoorsy, I highly recommend to people that you go to a dermatologist once a year. I mean, even if you don't wash your face, go get checked out.
Exactly.
My dermatologist doesn't check my lymph nodes.
Yeah, no, they should. I mean, they really should. I mean, that's but yeah, my GP was the one that caught it, and I was so sad when he retired because I sent him the nicest card in the world because he saved my life. Had he not been that thorough, I wouldn't, and honestly,
Thank goodness.
Yeah.
Thank goodness he was.
Yeah, he was a good guy.
Well, so glad you beat it, and I'm so glad you're here and you're okay.
I know. You've enhanced a lot of lives.
Here we are at another, we're beginners at coronavirus, and we're just going to fumble. We're going to pose as survivors. We're just going to be a bunch of posers at this.
I survived coronavirus.
I did a little live deal for my nonprofit about being a beginner. And this is an opportunity where nobody's ever been in this situation before. So we're all beginners. We're all fumbling through. We're all falling down. We're all looking silly. But, we'll come out of this with some skills we didn't have before. And
absolutely. Skills and appreciation and
gratitude.
Whole attitude toward life.
Feel like they're getting it though at one point, and then they're like, "No, I'm not," because you're so paranoid.
Yeah, especially after the rains, I get the allergies.
Yeah. I get allergies too. And then
you get that little thing. So I take an allergy pill every time I have even the hint of an allergy. And then when it goes away, I'm like, okay,
you're all right.
My allergy
pill. As a surfer, do a lot of sinus flushes, and so if I feel anything, it's like, okay, sinus flush. But,
yeah.
Anyway. One of my directors, and she's like the pro snowboarder, pro wakeboarder. She teaches kite for us, and she got it. She was one of 4 people out of her office that got the virus, and she was in bed for 22 days.
Oh my gosh.
She said, and she's like 32 years old, probably the most fit person I know.
Really?
And she said it was about 3 days of like wrecking ball flu symptoms, headaches, aches, and stuff. And she said about day 3, the chest thing happened. And she said it just kept getting tighter and tighter. And she said it would let up and then it got worse again. So they gave her an emergency breather. And she said that helped a little. And then she said there was a couple times during that 15 days that she thought she was getting better, and then it came back harder.
Oh, scary.
Yeah, she said it was the most emotionally and physically wrecked that she's ever been. She was 17 days into it before I even knew, because she just did. I mean, we all disappeared, but it's so. I don't think it's just. I think older people got it first. It's like wolves, it gets the slow people first, but then it starts catching up with the fast people. So, I'm hearing more and more younger and younger people, and, I sure don't want that shit after I heard what it was like, so.
Gosh,
wash your hands.
I hope the protests in Encinitas isn't going to cause a spike in
that protest in Encinitas, what's so funny is, okay, I get it that people want to surf and they want to open up the oceans to surf, because most people are 6 feet away, blah, 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 whatever. But the thing is, when they're protesting, they weren't 6 feet away and then they weren't wearing a mask. So I'm like, how are you going to allow them to open up the surf if you're not practicing safe distancing right now while you're protesting?
Right. That I saw that and I was like, oh, that's kind of scary, it's very scary.
But, I guess, they're just exercise. I think people just really wanted to exercise their constitutional amendment and just feel like they can do something without people saying, no, go home or ticket them for $1,000.
Yeah.
Well, people hate to be told no.
Yeah.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, because you feel like you're communist. You're in a communist country. You grew up in a free country. You were not used to this. This is new for us.
Yep. But the thing is if they would have informed you that, okay, by staying home you could save all these lives, you would think that most people would want to stay home if it's saving lives. But immediately they take offense to it. So.
Well, when that guy said, well, our numbers are low, we need to open it up. I'm like, well, our numbers are low because we've been taking so much action. Right. It's like, that was stupid to say.
It was stupid. That's everything they say on there is stupid. Like when they said, well, everything's closed, but you can go hiking. Now every single hiking trail is like packed with people.
Yeah, my neighborhood is packed. People are just driving by.
I went and stayed at Bill Billings Marriott right before. Well, they were trying to not close, and so we went and stayed there the weekend of my birthday. So he was like, well, just quarantine yourself in the hotel. I'll try to keep people working. And so we went and we tried to go hike at what was the name of the place? There's a trail near there, and we drove up to it, and it was just a madhouse of people trying to get to. We didn't even try to hike because there were just too many people there.
Yeah,
that's not quarantine.
Yeah. We have a little neighborhood trail in our neighborhood, and no one really knows. It's kind of like our little secret spot, but everyone knew about it.
Oh yeah.
Yesterday there was cars lined up, and I was like, well, I'm definitely not going for a run today.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So this was before all the parks were closed. I skated Oceanside, Alex Road, but before it was pretty. There were very few people, but there were a couple people there with their kids, and their kids were just free reigning around the place. And I thought, I don't know if this is where I'd have my kid. There are a lot of surfaces a lot of sketchy people hanging out in there, and and I mean, I know to be safe, but a little kid, that's.
To each his own. I mean, if you feel comfortable to go and skate something that's open, but you're going to wash your hands afterwards, not touch your face, and stay 6 feet away, freaking go for it. Yeah. But, I think it's as soon as people don't honor that 6 to 10 foot distance.
Right. Well, that's what I did. As soon as there were too many people to comfortably stay 6 feet away from each other, I just left.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, no. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
Hey, are they really? Sorry.
It's not that bad. I mean, during World War II, you had to join the army and go maybe die, and kill people. This time it's just like stay home so less people die.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
Good plan.
I mean, we don't. Most of us don't have horrible houses, so it's not like.
yeah.
I mean, I understand
know,
that part of it.
Not bad at all. Yeah.
Yeah, but
It's kind of interesting talking to friends around the world. I mean, I have friends in France and being right next door to Italy and all that. I mean, they've been where they can't leave their house but like an hour a week kind of a thing. I mean, really locked down. And, I think it's the first time globally that we're all doing the same thing.
Yeah.
You
The thing is that
know,
some countries are only allowing certain neighborhoods to shop on certain days so that everybody's not out.
out at the same time, maybe.
mhm.
I had to laugh. Some kids in our neighborhood came up with a new tag game where you throw beach balls, and then if you get closer than 6 feet, you scream.
That's nice.
I thought that was good. They were out there. The new rules.
We have a basketball on our cul-de-sac, and basically our kids on our cul-de-sac, we haven't gone anywhere for a month, so we're kind of a little less lenient for the people that are in our little street, and but they're still staying their 6 feet distance. But everyone has their own colored basketball. So when you play basketball, you have to play with your own basketball, catch it, and then and they end up playing basketball 6 feet apart with their own basketball.
Wow.
That's good.
Yeah, it
It's
works.
interesting, the changes. I wonder how
Is that
people
the
are going
world
to
we're
react.
going to return to is the 6 feet world.
Yeah.
No, we're never
Hope
shaking
not.
hands again, I'm sure.
Well,
Oh
like
my
you-
gosh, yeah. Is that a custom that's going to go out the window?
Well, like
Nobody's
Ken
gonna-
pointed out last time we had a child, I think it was last time, but didn't you say after the flu, I forgot what flu is called, that in
Well,
the
the
19,
1918 Spanish
Right.
Spanish flu.
50 million people died globally.
Yes.
right. And then after that was the roaring 20s, and people went back to handshaking, kissing, everything. So
Yeah, they went way back. They went way beyond the margarita.
Uh-oh. That doesn't seem
I'm looking
right.
forward to this. That's
I know. Sounds fun. Look forward to that. I'm single.
So,
There might be something good to look forward to, depending on your point of view.
Looking forward to that.
Ken, Ken, I looked up that whole Spanish flu, and I was fascinated by it because how many people died? 50 million people died. And do you know that one of the doctors excavated one of the bodies and basically replicated the Spanish flu and duplicated the RNA and DNA to study it?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and I was reading it, and I was like, holy shit, I would want that buried and never seen again. But yet they're studying it, on a level 3 biohazard place. And, but I didn't finish the article to see what their study remained, but
That's
it's
scary.
kind of weird.
Very scary.
Yeah.
What if that gets leaked out,
Yeah, and that affected all the young people. It was more the young people that were the H1N1 killed the young, but it also attacked their lungs. Even though it was H1N1, it attacked their lungs as well.
Right. Yeah.
Even though it was a swine from a bird, and not this one, bat.
Crazy.
They think so. Yeah.
I
Well,
thought it was from 5G. No, I'm just kidding.
you guys, I better go because my family, they vacated, so I could have the house to myself. I'm sure they want to come back. But
I know.
thank you
I
so
gotta
much
go.
for joining. And Michaela was supposed to come on, but she didn't show, and then a couple other people. But
So are you going to do one of these again, Lori? I
pardon
think
me?
you should.
Yeah,
I'd love
do
to
it.
have this a group again shortly. I'd
I'll
like
tell
that.
you
Sounds good.
Get a kick out of it.
Or anybody have it, invite more people, invite friends. I mean, whoever initiates it, just call Ken or message Ken.
Ken, thank you. You're facilitating a lot.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ken.
Like it. It's nice to see everybody.
Yeah,
It's
thank
great.
you, Ken. And
Thanks
it was
for having
nice
me.
speaking
Bye.
to all you
Bye-bye.
women, you beautiful women.
Thank you.
Bye, Donna. Bye, Lori.
Bye.
Bye, Amy.
Bye.
Bye, Lisa.
Bye.
Bye.